following content is brought to you by Social Inform Media.
Stories brought to us from CBSNews.com. So what happens when in Chicago somebody goes to a police academy, they're a police recruit, and they're going to be a cop? Well, what happens? Well, they know everything. I know the law. I'm going to be a cop. It's kind of what this young lady thought when a Chicago police recruit found herself on the wrong side of the law. She was accused of pushing, striking, scratching, and even kicking an officer in West suburban Schiller Park. Now, Charlie DeMar of CBS 2 reported the recruit's career as an officer is now potentially on the line before it even got started, because she knew everything, right? The big question was why the recruit is not facing state criminal charges after what had been described as a belligerent and violent incident. Well, because once she became a police recruit, now she's part of the thin blue line. And so then they're not going to, but that's the real question. So she was accused of all this stuff, but she's not facing criminal charges. She's just going to get fired or what? Schiller Park police said just after 2 a.m. Saturday, Denise Balseca, I'm sorry, I almost said Denise Balsaca. Schiller Park police said just after 2 a.m., Denise Balseca was pulled over after she hit a curb on the quiet 400 block of Gray Street in Schiller Park. The Chicago Police Department recruit allegedly refused to provide basic identity information after being stopped for a traffic violation. The report said Balseca refused to provide her driver's license and proof of insurance when asked to, and insisted she did not have to provide them, despite an officer telling her yes, she did. Now, if you or I had got involved in all this, we'd be looking at an arraignment. They'd be like, your court date is this. A police recruit from Chicago PD does it, and we're just probably going to let her go. The report described Balseca as highly uncooperative and hostile to the officer. Responding officers made many attempts to defuse the situation, but Balseca refused to listen. An officer observed that Balseca had bloodshot and glassy eyes and an odor of alcohol-based beverage emanating from her breath as she spoke. So why wasn't she even charged with DUI then, or suspected DUI? Balseca was told she would be arrested if she did not provide her information, but she still refused. And at that point, she was told she was now being arrested and ordered to get out of the car. She refused to get out of the car, and an officer had to place her in a control hold and escort her out. I love how they put that. He had to put her in a control hold and escort her out. Yeah, let's go. Pow! Escort her out. Yeah, okay. I'm sure they just escorted her out of the car with a control hold. Let's go. Come on, lady. Yeah. Right. Outside the car, she refused to place her hands behind her back in order to do so. And that's when they're saying she pushed, struck, scratched, and kicked the officer in an attempt to avoid arrest. Now, he did get a handcuff on her right wrist, but she used her body to pull away and flailed her arm. Now she has a weapon on her arm, the handcuff. Eventually, she got fully handcuffed and then refused to get into the squad car. She continued yelling profanities at the officer, and she was transported to the Schiller Park PD for a booking. The officer did sustain a laceration to his right arm. That's assault. That's felony assault on a peace officer. At the police station, she was read her rights and continued to ask why she had been arrested. Well, I've been arrested. All I did was hit him with cut his arm. When the officer showed the injuries she had caused, she said, "How else was I supposed to get away?" Now, look, man. And then they ask a great question. Why wasn't she charged? Why is she just being accused? I don't know. Maybe she is going to be charged. But, boy, how much you want to bet they just go ahead and let her graduate as a cop anyway? Now, this is going to be a great cop. She's a fighter.